Mark Denholm
at breakfast
podcast.
Episode 220. Hello and welcome to the best bits of the Atom Radio Breakfast Show podcast. And this is Mark Denholm at breakfast. Well, normally at breakfast, not necessarily now due to the way podcasts work. But either way, Saturday 13th of May today when this drops, much better than it would have been, I suppose, had it been Friday the 13th. But on the way in the podcast this week, we discussed on the show how much coronation is too much coronation, things you'd want if you were stranded, the strange perception of time, smell-o-vision, where you can smell the television, paying too much for your television license, and also a failure on my behalf.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast
podcast.
I don't know about you, but I'm a bit coronationed out now, having had the television dominated over the weekend with the coronation on Saturday and the coronation big lunch on Sunday and the coronation concert on Sunday, and then news reports on the big help out yesterday as well. I am just a little bit coronationed out now, but well, let's forget it and let's move onward as well as we do Tuesday, day 1 of 4 on the journey to the weekend, unless of course you worked yesterday, when it will be for you day 2 of 5 on the journey to the weekend. The sad news is that this weekend all I can give you is Saturday and Sunday, just a 2-day weekend this weekend.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
YouTube, the second biggest search engine on the internet behind only Google, and people make fortunes out of this now, don't they? Making videos on YouTube and sharing them that. Well, YouTube was first launched in February 2005, and Jawed Karim and Stephen Chen had originally intended for YouTube to be a site for video dating.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Shall we find out how the top 5 of things you would want with you if you were stranded stacks up for this week? At number 5, a box of flares and a lighter. At number 4, depending if you're going to survive or not, wine and snacks if you don't think you'll survive, or water and rice if you think you will. At number 3, cigarettes and beer. At number 2, a shed and BA Baracus from the A-Team to build your way out of wherever you're stranded. And at number 1 of things you would want with you while you are stranded has to be a tent and a mobile food van.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast
podcast.
Morning, welcome to Wednesday. It is Mark Denholm at breakfast, banging out the anthems on Atom Radio. I hope that I find you well this Wednesday. We are at Hump Day already, making the most of a short week. Second short week in a row. Next week is, however, going to be a shock, isn't it? Back to work and back to school for the full 5 days next week will be a shock.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
This day 9 years ago, sixth formers at Hampton Court House, a private school in Surrey, began their lessons in the afternoon, allowing them to sleep in the mornings. The head teacher said that the change to 1:30 from the usual 9 a.m. would be more productive and less stressful for the pupils. Why can't they just soak up the stress like every other generation did? I don't get it. Sorry, I don't get it.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Streaming from Slough, loud across the net, this is Mark Denholm at breakfast. Morning. Welcome to Wednesday already. I'm in a conflicting state of mind. May is dragging in my head. It's only the 10th today, and yet we are at Wednesday already, and this week is flying. I'm in a very conflicting state of mind.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
We are talking about smell-o-vision, given a Chinese company in partnership with a Hong Kong company claim to have come up with a moustache which can release up to 30 smells. You put this fake moustache on, and then it releases these odours, these fake odours, into your nose, obviously, because, well, you mainly breathe through your nose, and that's how... Well, I don't need to go into how the respiratory system works, do I? But this fake moustache, it's alleged, could now be combined with the television, so when there's something on the television, if it is one of the 30 smells that this fake moustache can release, could actually bring about smell-o-vision, and you could smell the telly as well as watching it and listening to it. Today, I'd like to know, what TV show would you like to watch in smell-o-vision if you could, on air at atomradio.co.uk, and Kelly is busily making sure that none of us get overexcited about smell-o-vision. Kelly says, absolutely nothing if I have to wear a stupid fake moustache I'm not wanting to ruin the programme by having to think, oh, where's my moustache, and put on my fake moustache and sit there watching the programme like a clown wearing a fake moustache. I mean, it's all well and good for the guys, but it's not so good for the ladies if you have to sit there wearing this fake moustache device.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Podcast.
Ask anyone who knows me, I'm better at burning bridges than building bridges. Morning though, welcome to Thursday. Mark Denholm at breakfast, streaming from Slough and loud across the net on Atom Radio.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Home of the anthems all day long. This is Atom Radio online, on mobile, on smart speaker. You remember months ago it was revealed that the licence fee would be waived for public places so they could show the coronation. And homeowners got no rebate on that. I'm thinking I should get a rebate twice for 2 weekends. So I want 365ths of this year's licence fee back. 1 because of the coronation, 2 because of Eurovision. And I'm actively trying to avoid them, and I don't really want to watch them. Therefore, I'd like some money back, if you don't mind, from the TV licence.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Podcast.
Streaming from Slough and loud across the net, this is Mark Denholm at breakfast. Morning then, and welcome to Friday. Another destination is reached as we hit Friday again, and for the second week in a row after only 4 days. Do you know what? I am beginning to think now, and I always thought it was a bit rubbish if I'm honest, but I'm beginning to think now that there may very well be something in this 4-day week that we've spoken about for a few years now. I'm beginning to think, after doing 2 4-day weeks in a row, yeah, there could be something in this. And then if you ask me next week, in 7 days' time, when we've done a 5-day week, I'm certain that I will agree with the 4-day week even more. But anyway, welcome to Friday.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
The anthems will continue in the form of the Stranglers and Always the Sun, up and good to go next. First, though, we'll take a look back to yesterday, where a headline just proved irresistible for me, and that headline was, "Man reported to police for farting." Now, as it turns out, there's more to it than that, and he's a bit of a nightmare neighbour, this man. He farted and belched into his neighbour's property. He would shine bright lights in their face when they came face to face, and he also blocked doorways. But it was just the headline. I thought, nah, too good to resist that one. So yeah, I went with it yesterday. And anyone that knows me will know my childishness, and that headline would definitely have appealed to me yesterday. Having said that, my neighbours on the left and on the right are both lovely people, and I'm very happy, I wanted to know, what's the strangest or worst thing that your neighbour had ever done? And then Janice kind of sparked memories of something that unintentionally happened to me. And, well, it's something that I did totally and utterly unintentionally. All right? Picture the scene. It's a hot summer's day, and it has been hot for a little while. And my lawn has gone very, very dry and dusty, all right? And the soil has dried out. It's all very dry and dusty. And I've got the lawnmower out. And as I was getting it out, I thought, that doesn't quite look right. And I plugged it in, and I thought, right, I'm going to mow the lawn. So I've started off mowing the lawn. And as I did, I heard a thud and a bang. And then just this massive, massive dust cloud erupted. And out the back, across the back wall, is a fairly main road, and this dust cloud engulfed the road, and people were like blowing their horn because they couldn't see in the dust cloud. Neighbours were rushing out and gathering their washing and taking it back inside. What had happened is the blade in my lawnmower had dropped down, and it was basically churning up the dried grass and also the parched soil, which had gone like dusty, and this massive dust cloud engulfed everywhere. And I have to say, the moment I realised what was happening, I turned off the lawnmower, had a look at it, realised it was beyond repair, and I took it to the dump and bought a new lawnmower. So it wasn't intentional in my case, but what it was from Janice yesterday that reminded me of this is something similar, in that Janice says, whenever I put my washing out to dry, it seems the neighbours always have to have a bonfire. And it seemed like coincidence at first, and then it just kept happening. Every time I put my washing out, there was a bonfire within about a quarter of an hour of the washing going out. And it came to a head one day when I was coming back from the shop with my washing being left on at home. I came back from the shop and I had to say to the neighbour, "Oh, hi, how are you? I'm going to put my washing out. You're not going to bonfire today, are you?" no, got nothing to burn. We're not bonfiring today. And literally, I put my washing out, and about 10 minutes after that, I could smell the smoke as the bonfire was lit. And again, I had to bring my washing in, and I keep having to bring my washing in and re-wash it and then dry it indoors. And it really is a bit of a nightmare. And I think when that happened, I realised they were definitely doing it on purpose.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Podcast.
True story that, the lawn mowing episode. And do you know what? I felt so bad. Like, at first, I just thought, it just mowed through it. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And after like a few seconds, I thought, oh no. Once the car started beeping, because the dust cloud was then descending on the road, I thought, no, just stop. Yeah, not so good that, eh? Not so good either. And here we are now at the 13th of May when this is released. We're not even halfway through May yet. And I know that we had the 1st and the 8th as Bank Holiday Mondays. And that made 2 short weeks so far in May. So we've not done a full 5-day week yet this month. But I don't know. I just feel like it's amazing that it is only not even the middle of May yet. I don't know. January appeared to last forever, in my opinion. And then February flew by and March flew by and April wasn't too bad. But May is just dragging despite the 2 bank holidays. On the bright side, though, there is another bank holiday still to come as well on the 29th of May. So that is not too bad. Thank you for checking out the podcast this week, as always. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the show from Monday.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Podcast.